Hello, welcome to AB Suite 9.0 new features. My name is Suresh Anandan. I am the product owner. In this video, I will give a brief overview and demonstration of new capabilities introduced in AB Suite Debugger in this release. Along with me, my colleague Shushanta and Tamil will explain some of the features. Let's get started. We are going to discuss three new features introduced in AB Suite Debugger. First, Debugger Report Viewer. Second, Quick Start Debugger for MCP HTTPA. Third, performance improvements in debugger. Before we go inside the debugger report viewer, we will look at why it was introduced in AV Suite. Previously, debugger displayed the report output in Internet Explorer, which was the default browser for many of us. Prior to Windows 11, all the Microsoft operating system included Internet Explorer as a default browser. Microsoft ended the Internet application support for Windows 10 semi-annual channel on June 15, 2022. In fact, the IE browser was removed from the latest operating system like Windows 11. Very soon, they might remove it from other older operating system as well. As a result of this announcement, we cannot use Internet Explorer to view the report output generated by debugger. Also, other browsers are not supported by debugger, hence it created difficulties for our users to see the report output. To overcome all this issue, we introduce Debugger Report Viewer application, which will help you to see the output in any browser. Let's look at the demo to understand better. Now let's look at the demo. For this demonstration, I will be using ABSuite sample model. Let's start the debugger with the Windows configuration. Debugger displays the FireAPI spec, which is a menu screen. I have already loaded some sample data in this application to save this demo time. Now let's try to run any report which produces output. Go to Systems, Run Report. I will run Cost List report. This report produces the output of all the customer names in the system. Now report is completed. Debugger report output generated a XML file and displayed in the pop-up window. Till now there is no change. Previously, if user double click the report output XML file, then debugger tried to open the XML file on the browser, which will convert the XML file into HTML before displaying the data in the browser using CSS style sheet. This is not allowed in many browsers due to security vulnerability. Now, if user double click on the generated XML file, then debugger create the HTML file and show the HTML file in any default browser. Let me try to open the report output. Now debugger convert the XML data into HTML format. The output is displayed properly. You can notice that now the output is displayed in the Chrome browser, since Chrome is my default browser in my machine. Now let's open the debugger report viewer application. Click Start menu. Go to Agile Business Suite 9.0. Open debugger report viewer. This report viewer is packaged and available only part of AB Suite developer. This report viewer helps to view all the previously generated report output by AB Suite application in the default browser. In the top, the report output directory text box shows the default AB Suite report output location. Use browse button to choose a different location if you want. In the report output file list, you can see all the report output generated by AB Suite application. You can see all the old and new report output files in this list. If user want to see any specific report output, then select the report and click view. Now let me try to open the output here. Select the report output, click view. Now debugger convert the XML file into HTML file and show in the browser. You can notice that the output is displayed in my Chrome, which is my default browser in my machine. This application will also allow to see the multiple report output in parallel. For example, I'll try to select multiple reports and press view button. Now debugger convert all the selected XML file into HTML file and show the browser with the different tabs. You can click refresh to update the list of reports. That's all for the demo. For more information, please refer the product documentation. Now I will hand over to my colleague Sushanta. He will explain quick debugger for MCP HTTPA feature.
Thanks, Suresh. Now I am going to present the demo on Quick Debugger for MCP HTTP feature. Here, the problem statement is when you want to run a debugger with MCP HTTP, you must manually fill up many configuration property which take a significant amount of manual work, effort, and time to start the debugger. So we have a solution to address all these issues. Now you can start Debugger for MCP HTTP with few clicks in Visual Studio. So Debugger will automatically populate all the values for configuration property. It will save the time and effort for developer. It will automatically create capability file based on the user choice, and also it will automatically detect Unisys OLEDB on Windows machine. So there is no more error prone and it is very easy to use. In this demo, we are going to use the sample model. So before starting debugger, you need to deploy the system in MCP host by filling the folder level configuration property, which has I have already filled. You can observe the configuration property. So see deployment host, user code, and the deployment detail you need to fill. Apart from that, a segment configuration property also you need to fill the deployment and general property. So once all configuration property filled, we need to deploy the system. Here I have already deployed the system and it is successful. Let's start the debugger. So once you start the debugger, it will prompt a message box by asking, do we want to debug this MCP host database? The host is ECCC and the database is SMPL sample. So if you click yes, it will prompt the password because the password we have not entered the folder level. So you need to enter the password here. And if you are doing LRSS server, you need to enter the LRSS password and you need to allow the saving password. So let's start. So the sample system came and this is how the debugger application will come. I will show you the configuration property on the debugger side. I'm just stopping the debugger and if you see configuration property, it will automatically made the enable host database access true and host name, alternate name, and database name, and the password we have entered later. All this filled automatically, and the capability file creation. Uh, we have given the option if user is required, he can fill yes or no, depending upon his choice. This is all about the demo. If you need any other information, kindly uh, contact the support. Now I will hand over to my colleague Tamil. He will explain the performance improvement in Debugger.
Thanks, Shushanta. Now we will have a look on the performance improvements in Debugger. Performance improvements can be seen while using both simple and complex arrays in Debugger. As we can see in the graph, as the size of the array grows, there is a huge improvement in the performance. For complex arrays, the data may vary based on the size of the array. Now let's start with the demo. We will be using the sample model in Windows configuration. Let's take a look on the structure of the array. We have the ispec, array ispec simple. It has two attributes, the array element and the array set. Array set is the array of size 100,000. Array element is a string of length 1. We have the main method under the ispec which contains the logic to loop through the elements of the array. Let me start the debugger. I will go through the ispec and do a transmit. Previously, it used to take a significant amount of time to reach the first line of logic as it does the array initialization. Now we can see the improvement in performance. I will press the continue button to execute the remaining logic. We can see the overall performance improvement with array. That's it for the demo.